approval among independents dropping significantly and disapproval going up significantly. You see now the approval 35% among independents. Again, that's in the Reuters poll.
Well, I think in part the reason that independents are so disappointed in the president is that they know that the claim he makes about this all being the fault of his predecessor is either, on the one hand, false, or simply whining by somebody who won't own up to responsibility. The problem, and it is false, the problem is with the president's analogy about the restaurant, is that he left out the part where he sits down and then orders steak and martinis for the next 1,000 days and sends you and I the bill. If you look at the debt, publicly held debt on the day he took office, that is, the accumulated debt that you and I and all the bondholders up to the government of China hold and have been accumulated for 230 years of this republic, it was $6.3 trillion, under 6.5. Today it's 11. He has added in 3.5 years $4.5 trillion. He's increased our debt by 70% in 3.5 years. And the idea that it was all baked in the cake and structural is complete nonsense. He speaks about the two wars. One war is over, and the other war, the good war, the one he likes, he doubled our expenditures. It's going to be over in a couple of years anyway. And yet he has deficits he's projecting in the future, increasing by $8 trillion of debt for the next decade. I think on every count his numbers are false, and I think Americans sense that. There's a kind of psychological statute of limitations on whining.
Chuck.
Because of the stimulus package and so forth, the recession explains a lot of the deficit that we're going through now. I don't know whether you want to blame George W. Bush for that, but that is something that took place, began before Barack Obama became president.
The stimulus was not an act of God, it was an act of man.
That is correct, but the recession drove our tax revenues dramatically down in this country and caused the so-called automatic stabilizers like unemployment benefits and so forth to go up.
It did not require a near $1 trillion stimulus, which was sprinkled on the economy and has left not a trace.
Response?
Well,
I might as well keep going.
I mean, yeah, well, I mean, you know, fair enough. I'm not.
I think Romney, I think you're right about Romney. He needs to have a positive outline of a vision. The problem is that the president hasn't done one. He can't run on the record. He can't run on, he's not responsible. He's got to present a vision. He's going to be in Cleveland tomorrow, and yet again he won't, because I don't think he's got a plan.